It is the 22nd edition of the Telkom 947 Cycle Challenge. Everybody's excited. Literally, this man has just finished his ride. The last few cyclists are streaming in now.
Families waiting for their people. Yeah, it's exciting every single year. You feel like you're getting used to it.
Yeah.
And you actually go for the 22nd
John Jarvis makes it in with the victory.
Yep, many changes this year. The route was flipped. So this was the start last year, and the difference between last year and this time around is that the beginning is really, really tough. A lot of uphills. As you can imagine, an uphill in 34-degree weather is not easy whatsoever. So everyone who has cycled this year, congratulations, what a feat.
Definitely, we're actually saying that everyone that cycled this year is actually a champ. If you can do this,
Yeah.
94.7K,
Yeah.
you are phenomenal.
It's absolutely crazy. How rude are we? My name is Zweli. This is Mantsoe from the 947 Nitro and the Coca-Cola Top 4 TSA. Now, we're seeing the last guys streaming in right now, but we did have the elite men's race a little bit earlier. Now, these guys are the top dogs. So let's check out exactly what happened this morning while they cycled.
Then they were off, the elite professional riders setting off in the early hours of the morning. The sun had barely risen as they headed out from the River Sands Commercial Park. The first section neutral as they headed down the hill. Defending champion Daryl Impey would have his work cut out to win a second year in a row because BCX were here, Team Pro Touch were in the mix, Office Guru, and plenty of the pretenders to the crown. With 3 South African teams turning continental next year, there was much at stake. Into Steyn City, and immediately there was an attack. Byron Munton deciding that this was an opportunity for him to go up the road on his own. And it was up the road. Steyn City's not flat. And he was still 90 kilometers from the finish. Plenty of downhill. Get the legs loose. And then the brakes started to form. Team Office Guru and BCX were going to make this racing hard. Andrew Edwards of Team Office Guru. They were riding for their man Dylan Girdleston. BCX had plenty of cards to play. JC Nell doing the work there. They had Nolan Hoffman, Stephen van Heerden as contenders for the overall race. David Maria for BCX on the back of this group. Miles van Muschenbroek in there for Pro Touch as well. It was going to be a hot day. Why not strip down right now? A very, very strong lead group had formed. Marie, Miles van Muschenbroek, Jay Julius in that group, as well as Barry Crouch, Bradley Potgieter and Dylan Girdleston also starting to come across. These are the main contenders. Girdleston was a man who would like to contend on the hilly finish. If he had something to go up the hill at the end, he could be a real contender. Now heading along Witkoppen and soon into Bryanston. Their hotspot was up the road, the first of 2 plus the King of the Mountains. David Marie carrying the scars from a crash on the track quite recently, but that wasn't holding him back. He's as tough as they get, a real worker for Team BCX. Through the hotspot, Miles van Muschenbroek takes it ahead of David Marie and van Muschenbroek's teammate Jay Julius in that lead trio. 2 Pro Touch riders there. Also in their Office Gurus, Dylan Girdleston. Behind them, the peloton all still tightly knitted together. Heading up Homestead through Bryanston. A right turn through Randburg and then onto Jan Smuts Avenue. Girdleston and David Marie marking each other's every move. Miles van Muschenbroek also in this lead group of 6. Daryl Impey, the defending champion of Mitchelton Scott. Remember, he won the Tour Down Under earlier this year on the World Tour. Well, he was going to have his work cut out. He would be heavily marked all the way through the day. Little gap starting to appear, but 3 riders looking to bridge across to Girdleston, Marie and Julius. Bradley Downs looking to bridge across to the group. Meanwhile, Daryl Impey was keeping himself in the mix. But again, he was flying solo, rather like Clint Hendricks, riding for an overseas team and without any team support. On to the M1 now. The climbing pretty much over with as they headed out of the city of Johannesburg once more. And a group of 6 riders on the front. Stephen van Heerden in this group, the chase group with Daryl Impey. Office Guru and BCX well represented in that group. The magnificent city shutting down its major highway for this day to allow the riders to enjoy. And on the highway, the attacks were coming thick and fast as they started to chase down the lead group. David Marie is still working tirelessly on the front, but Joshua van Wyk and Bradley Downs had flown the coop. These two had opened up a gap of nearly 30 seconds heading through Woodmead. Downs, a 27-year-old, he's had a tough year, a lot of crashes this year, but given the freedom to fly. Once onto the Kyalami racetrack, Downs had got rid of Van Wyk and was on his own, but he still had 30 kilometers to go, a long way to solo for victory. A look over his shoulder would tell him that he'd had about a 20-second gap to Van Wyk, who was fading fast, and then the chase group, which had thinned down now and contained all the other major contenders. The likes of Calvin Benneker, Nolan Hoffman, Daryl Impey, Clint Hendricks, they were all in this group chasing down and hunting a victory. Kyalami racetrack comes at a tricky time in this event, no matter which way it is ridden. Fatigue sets in and it's notorious for splitting up the group. Brandon Downs, though, was still going beautifully. And Nolan Hoffman was nicely positioned in the main peloton behind him if Downs ran out of fuel. But of course there were plenty of other contenders as they headed up through Blue Hills. Dylan Girdleston was one of them. Daryl Impey having a look at the possibility of putting in a dig himself. It would be the only way he could win it, and the rest of them would be very wary of his abilities. He did it last year when he broke away on his own to win by over a minute. Blue Hills, the last of the climbs, and then it was pretty much downhill to the finish with this new reversed route. And that suited Daryl Impey's cause, and he put in a dig as they turned into Summit. He took Nolan Hoffman with him. Hoffman wasn't going to let him go, that's for sure. But the rest of them, well, they weren't too interested. Meanwhile, Malcolm Langer was giving his man, Brandon Downs, all the encouragement he possibly could, because he sensed that this young man could take the win. And what a win it would be as he broke away some 30 kilometers ago. A remarkable performance by young Brandon Downs, staying away despite the persistent chase from Dylan Girdleston. He was marked by Stephen van Heerden as they charged down towards Riversand Commercial Park. But they could make no impression on the very, very impressive ride by Brandon Downs. And he rode into Riversand's Commercial Park to take the victory in the Telkom 947 Cycle Challenge. Great celebration for Brandon Downs, his biggest win. Second place, Stephen van Heerden, and third place, Dylan Girdleston of Office Guru. What about the new route? I mean, the change of direction, how tough was it?
I actually think it was a really nice route, especially for, in the elite bunch. It made the racing really hard from the start, with some few steep climbs at the beginning, and then there was like a sort of a long uphill section in the middle. But yeah, in terms of the racing, I think it was a really good route for the elites. I think some people a little bit later on are going to be out there for a long time, and it's going to be a tough route. But otherwise, congrats to the organisers. I think they did a really good job, and yeah, thanks to all my sponsors. I mean, it's been a really great year for BCX.
Tell us about this new route. How did that affect the dynamic of the racing?
I think it's harder, this route. Last year's route it's different, but it's a lot of climbing in the beginning. Then you got tired legs, laying up the M1, and then Kyalami, it's a lot.
Alright, so it's the 2018 Telkom 947 Cycle Challenge. What an incredible day already. We are at the finish line right now, and as you can see, we have got the concession. Everybody coming in. We've got all the different vehicles that have been helping people along the route as well, because as you can imagine, it is not easy whatsoever cycling for 94.7 kilometers. So big credit to everyone who has taken part in everything happening today.
This is always my very favorite part of the cycle challenge.
Yeah.
And also a very emotional part as well, because you get to see everyone that's involved in making this a success. So big shout out to JMPD, big shout out to City of Johannesburg, 947 Telkom, and of course you
Yes, you always keep this event going. And over here to our left, we have got the Trek Troopers. Now, if you're not too familiar with what these guys do, they pretty much help cyclists along the route.
They're the
'Cause you
strongest
can,
people.
Yeah, you can imagine how tough it is riding. The Telkom 9% Cycle Challenge. So when there's an uphill and it's towards the end and you're running out of energy, these guys are pretty much there to help you along the route. So it's pretty cool.
They basically do the laps like twice. Because what they do is they support and give the cyclists support all along the way. So they have to go back again and find if there's anyone that needs some help. So it's pretty dope what they do.
Yep, and a lot of people also riding for a purpose. For the Telkom 947 Cycle Challenge, many different causes. I mean, when I was out in Kyalami a little bit earlier on, I saw the Guide Dogs Association. They were in past. The Smile Foundation is here. The Nelson Mandela Children's Hospital as well, his foundation. So it's absolutely incredible. They're not just riding for themselves. I mean, it's a great personal achievement, but when you're doing it for a bigger cause, that's what makes it even more impressive and incredible.
The victory is always sweeter if you're doing it for something of great.
It is. Now we're waiting for our final cyclist. I'm not sure if they've come through yet, and we're going to try and chat to them and see exactly how the race was. Because when you're the last person through, look, it's not a race about winning. It's just about the achievement. We're standing here, we didn't do it. Regan Lucky got replacements as well. So you can imagine how tough it is when all the 947 presenters are chickening out because we know how difficult this race is.
You know, every year you feel like, oh, I love the finish line. I love it only because it's so emotional. But then you're like, oh, the sun. I can't imagine what it was like on the road for the cyclists.
Oh my goodness. One of the hottest days of the week. I mean, we're in the middle of a heat wave. And because of that as well, we had to sort of alter the route because we had to bring in the heat rule, I guess, because it's extreme conditions. And it's always dangerous when it's this hot and you're out in the sun the whole day. So safety first, always at the Telkom 947 Cycle Challenge.
Definitely.
Yep, now we're going to go through to another one of our videos. We have got the Women's Elite Race. That one took place a little bit earlier on. Mantsoe next year will be part of the Women's Elite Race.
Of course.
Cannot wait to see her come last in that one. It's
Can
going
you
to be
not
amazing.
see how fit I am? I'm so ready for it.
Check it out.
Just over 50 of the country's leading women professionals and top amateurs set off in the women's bunch. Among the major contending teams, of course, Team Demicon have been all conquering this year. They have the national champion Carlo Oberholzer in their group. Also in the field here, Sandton City Cycle Nation, a powerful unit that includes former winner here, Joanna van der Winkel, who's made a magnificent comeback to the sport, and riding as a solo raider, former champion here, of course, multiple champion all over the country, Henriette Skuman. On the front there, on the Owen, the youngest of the riders at the age of 19, doing a nice bit of work on the front. Early on, not too many attacks. The early climbs had made all the riders weary of the first half of this race. The descents, though, were enjoyed by them all. Plenty of good mountain bikers in this group, of course, Sarah Hill and her partner Teresa Ralph, but it was Joanna van der Winkel who thought, in fact, she'd got the hot spot, but right up ahead was Teresa Ralph, who'd snuck away in amongst the Abach men to take the hot spot and take the lead in the women's race. She put in a minute as they headed onto the Nelson Mandela Bridge. And in that group, Carlo Oberholzer, Henriette Skuman and Joanna van der Winkel. This was an elite group of road racers who could threaten Teresa Ralph, the mountain biker. She'd finished third a week ago in the Telkom 947 Mountain Bike Challenge, and here she was showing the elite women a thing or two on the road as well. Tremendously powerful. The first half of the race suited the mountain bike style riders, but the second half, well, the road pedigreed riders here, Skuman, Oberholzer and van der Winkel coming to the fore. The chase was on. Also in this group now, Suzanne Cronier riding for Team Clover. She was soon shelled out though, as the highway was wide open for the women hunting down Teresa Ralph. A very, very busy year for the Galileo Risk Rider this year with Sarah Hill. They've ridden just about everything there is to ride, and she went onto the Kyalami racetrack in amongst the men here, just ahead in fact, but on her own, and knowing that the hunt was on, because no more than about 20 seconds behind were an elite group of women. Teresa on the top of the bend, the women on the bottom and closing in. Skuman sitting on the back and had a very quiet year on the road. Not so Teresa Ralph on the mountain bike, but grinding through the gears as she headed towards the finish, but it wasn't long. Closing in on summit that Teresa Ralph was caught, and Joanna van der Winkel was first onto her wheel. And Teresa knew by now, I think, that it was game up because the roadies would come to the fore on that very, very fast ascent in towards River Sands. And the short climb gave the opportunity to the lighter riders, those roadies, to bounce away from Teresa Ralph. And it was the national champion, Carlo Walser, who added the Telkom 947 Cycle Challenge to her remarkably successful year. Second was Skuman, third Van der Winkel.
I personally think it's tougher than the old route. It'll be interesting to see what the men have to say, and then the social riders as well.
You've had a pretty decent year this, have you kept it nicely?
Yeah, I'm so grateful. We've been really, really blessed as a team. It's been an amazing year, so I'm happy to finish it off on a high note.
All right, now we know a very big part of the Telkom 947 Cycle Challenge is the support.
Yeah.
We get incredible support along the route, and we have got our trek troopers, so all these guys who are looking cool in their Lumo yellow and all that. So you have been on the route literally from this morning.
Yes, I am. So the course itself was hard. The first half of the course, you literally have climbed about 950 meters, and for the beginners, I tell you, it's very hard. If it was hard for me, the first lap and the second lap, what I was supporting, I could only imagine for someone who was here for the first time, and most people, they literally here just to ride, just to have fun.
Yeah.
But with the heat as well, it did not help. And I can tell you, along the route, I think I have still a couple of about 5 guys with no tubes, nothing at all. They were just lying there on the road waiting for somebody to come and assist. And for us trek troopers to be there, we're glad just to manage to support them so that they can finish the race and achieve their goal. But the heat did not help at all. It was too hot there. And I think the race organizers, they took good decisions by cutting some of the route, like before you get downtown to Jozi, and cutting out Kyalami climb.
Yeah.
I can tell you it was gonna be a killer. I hope most of those guys next year, they're gonna come back and do it. But I think the route itself, the course itself, people thought it's gonna be easy because when the last course, the finish was Sten City, it was hard. You could imagine coming to Sten City, you've already done almost the work, and then you find Sten City and kills you. But by the time you reach halfway, you are literally done, my guy. So when you get to M1, you're just trying to push yourself so that you can finish the race.
If someone that does this literally every other day of their lives can say this, then that means all the Joburg people that were doing this today are real champs.
Yep,
actually.
100%.
For me, just to see those guys out on the road, I was just telling them to say, guys, I take my head off you guys. Looking at the start time, the last group I think probably went on 9:39, and you can imagine by the time the heat was already up, and I think I finished before 9, I was done. But those guys starting at 9:39 and the heat is already up. I don't know what was the temperature by then, but then when we reached, it was Douglasdale, you could see they were just, each and every water point, they need to stop just to pour the water and cool their body temperature down. So yeah, I think for me, I take care of for them. They're all winners.
Now, how many laps did you do today?
I did double laps.
Double laps. That is absolutely incredible. How much training do you have to do if you're going to conquer this, twice in a day?
Literally during the week, I train 3 times. I'll be in the gym doing indoor training. Then weekends, usually Saturdays, I'll do maybe running. If I'm not running, I'll probably do about 50 Ks. Then I'll do long rides on Sunday, plus minus 100K on Sundays.
Okay, I want to know. I haven't started cycling. I need to be one of the elite women next year. Do I still have the time to train from now until next year?
Yes, no problem. You've got more time. You've got about how many months? 12 months.
Yeah.
Can you train me?
You are more than welcome if you wanted me to be your trainer. But you need to start small. Start by doing indoor gym training. Then when you're done with that, you find yourself a bike, just riding 10 Ks, 20 Ks, on weekends, 30 Ks. Gradually you'll be improving. Obviously the target will be 12 months. You must be ready by then.
That's my coach.
But the most probable time that you need to train, and it's very difficult to train, is winter time. And I see a lot of people that don't train in winter. During winter, you just do your base training so that when winter is over, you are already there, your fitness is there. Because once winter's ended, you're probably left with 3 months of training, and it's going to be hard.
Okay.
All right, my man, thank you very much. Thanks for all the good work you do as well for the Telkom 947 Cycle Challenge. Go home and get some rest. A nice ice bath, I think.
Yeah.
I think I need food from here.
Sweet,
Cheers.
my man. Cool, thank you. All right, so that's one of our trek troopers here at the 947, the Telkom 947 Cycle Challenge. I'm a bit confused, and you're probably wondering as well, was Mantsoe looking for a coach, or was she hitting on our trek trooper right here?
Listen, I found myself a coach who's going to teach me how to ride, and I don't see no problem with that.
Can't take this one anywhere, can you? Cannot take it anywhere. And that's it from the 22nd edition of the Telkom 947 Cycle Challenge. What an incredible day.
And I'm glad that we're ending this off with my favorite song, one of my favorite songs. It's been absolutely amazing. Entries are going to open very soon, so you know you need to get involved next year. It's the Telkom 947 Cycle Challenge, and it has been amazing.
I'm so glad Mantsoe committed to doing it next year live on camera, so that you can't say that we're lying.
I've committed to a lot of things.
So we are ready for Mantsoe to take on the Telkom 947 Cycle Challenge next year. I'll be cheering you on, don't worry. I'll cheer you on with a nice drink on the side there.
Thank you very much. Joburg, you've been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much to the city of Johannesburg, the residents that let us actually block the roads and do this every single year. Big shout out to JMPD. Telkom.
Of course, I mean, it's right here, Telkom, hello.
No, I was leaving that out for you to say it. 947, of course, Netcare 911 as well for getting involved.
I love how it says, I was leaving that one for you to say, and then she goes on and says everything else. Wow, Mantsoe part. But look, you've been incredible. Thank you for an incredible day of cycling. We will catch you again next year for the 23rd edition of the Telkom 947 Cycle Challenge. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Nice job, guys. Sorry, guys.
Yes,